It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now Wentz throwing on second down. Ertz has it left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ. Coleman. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's Coleman. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Clayton Gathers makes the stop. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Here's Wentz to throw. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A first down for the Eagles. Wentz finding the former Raven Wallace. They go play action here on first down. Flush to his right. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. 34 yards there and a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
It's Coleman here. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down.
We got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
So that'll back him up 5. That's going to set him back 5 yards. Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on 2nd and goal. To throw, it's Wentz. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Terrell Basham in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Working from the gun, Wentz sliding out of the pocket, and that is incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. They'll roll him out right. That's to his running back, complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Corey Coleman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Elliott now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Out of the gun, Luck. And his first look is incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Throwing is Luck. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. To the air again, Luck. And this will be incomplete. He was waving it. His arms wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Oh, heck of a move.
Man.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the...
Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. picked off by Sidney Jones. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Where when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Terrell Basham in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll toss it to Coleman. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That burst good for 20 and a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The convention.
He's got daylight. Past the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And on that one, able to catch it. Also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive.
Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Brandon Graham coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Third and long, it's Locke. He's going to float this one deep. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
This is Coleman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And a quick slant gets exactly 10. And by the nose of the football, they've got a 1st down. On 1st down, Wentz. And it's Ertz. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to...
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Corey Coleman with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Colts getting ready to go. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
To throw on second down is Love. Flushed out right. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Coleman. They find some open field here. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Eluding the pressure. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Terrell Basham able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They do go for it. It's Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards. Wentz now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Here's Coleman on the toss. Finding room to the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Corey Coleman on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Here's Mack. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this.
Let's go, Mexico!
On 3rd down, it's Mack, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off.
Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Mike Bennett. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. They'll fake it. Now Luck. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. They'll run with Matt. And now running right through it. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out.
And look at this. It's a fake. And this is caught, but he will not make the 1st down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now this time, Wentz will throw. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. An Eagle 1st down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Danico Autry forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Coleman now. And he'll take this one down to the 36. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Hang in there now.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. And he connects with Ebron. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Eric Ebron, 76 yards. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. Now this time he'll look to throw. Buying time to his, and he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Jabal Sheard in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. Now Wentz on third down. Caught right side is Jeffrey. Oh, now he bowls him over. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll be a gain of 16 and give them a first down as well. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, second down.
Great.
Wentz to throw on second down. His throw incomplete. Mike Wallace, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. Now Mack. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a carry from Mack. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Now it's Love. Hard throw, incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. And this is caught, but he will not make the first down marker. And that'll be a turnover on downs. It's a 4-yard pickup. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 34.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, they look like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. On second down, here's Wentz.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Wentz steps away to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Doug Peterson says, let's go for 2 here. They'll try and run it in with Coleman. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. They get the conversion. And, Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Now a play fake here on 1st down. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now Luck escaping the pressure right. And some room to roam now. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On 3rd down, that's Mack. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all.
And he takes it in for a Colts score. A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. Vinatieri now to tack on the PAT. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And that will get him 1 closer. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Hey, you got 3.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first. On play action, Wentz steps away. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Terrell Basham in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From midfield, here's Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Wentz going to go on 4th down. A man with a crossing route. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Now Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Wentz. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the linebacker, Ray Malaluga. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Locke. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Out of the gun, Locke. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
12.
Desperation time for Luck on 4th down. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, They can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Wentz. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jabal Sheard in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
It's brought in by Jeffrey. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Working from the gun, Wentz forced out to his left. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, this is something I may never understand. I don't get why a quarterback under duress who has a chance to get rid of the ball and save the yardage keeps it and runs out of bounds. Instead of an incomplete pass and no loss of yardage, it's a 3-yard loss.
Powerful running. Now he's flushed out. Got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. They'll try running in with Coleman. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Colts coming out now. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the 1st down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bump.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Chris Long in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Luck in the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Luck. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it. One
of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to fire. And got his man. Complete. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Again, Luck. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And Luck will be intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 11. So after the INT, here's Wentz. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
82, 82. Here we go. Flag. 80.
Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it?
And Wentz will not be able to get rid of it. He's taken down for a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
After the interception, it's Long. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Now Wentz. Throw right side taken in by Wallace. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now Wentz on third down. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. They convert on third with a gain of 22. Wentz to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Here's Wentz to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jay Ajayi there out of the backfield. Third down here. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. To throw is Wentz. Being chased out left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And a late score here in this one. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Throwing is Wentz. And his throw is incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Doyle. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. You got the big lead defensively. willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked.